Hey YouTube, what's up? Dr. T here, and welcome to my hometown, St. Petersburg, Florida. We are located on the central west coast of Florida by Tampa Bay and in the Gulf of Mexico on the west side of the county. Take a minute to have a look at St. Petersburg in all its wonders, a piece of paradise to live in. If you are new to my channel, take a look around. You will find everything for one-stop shopping in the playlists. So in this post, I'm going to tell you my approach to selecting, buying, and potentially trading altcoins. I'm not advocating you do anything that I do. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just data that I've collected and how one might go about using it. You need 4 websites and 2 accounts to do this. First and foremost, I have a GDAX account where you can purchase your primary coin. So it would be useful if you had a GDAX, I won't get my tongue tied on this, GDAX account or any other account that you can purchase your original coin on, which would be either Bitcoin or Ethereum. The altcoins are going to be acquired and purchased on the BINANCE Exchange. I have an account on the BINANCE Exchange. You just go in there, put in the relevant information, get authentication, and you have a trading window from which to trade the coins that you might be interested in. Second to that, you need to get this website, tradingview.com, from which I use for evaluation analysis, in part what's going on, and together with my GDAX account. And finally, any website that's like this one, but worldcoin.index, which lists all of the altcoins that one might be interested in. Now, I've pretty much gone through this from the top to bottom, selected some altcoins that are not common. You don't want a common pattern, because you can just go and trade in a common pattern if you want a common pattern. You want something that's different, something that has great potential for variance against the main theme. Bitcoin, Ethereum, the ones that are on GDAX, Lit, Bitcoin, they all go up and down exactly the same. You need variance, and one that's a very, very good one right now, which is amongst the ones that I'm looking at, is this one called Tron, which you may be well aware of. So some coinage that is different from the others in terms of their profile. They don't have the classic profile, they have a different profile with some potential for really kind of getting you some ups and downs. So that's one, and I've been through and selected a bunch of others. Now here comes the difficult bit, and I'm going to be going backwards and forwards. So I've been through this list, and I've picked out a number of potential interesting suitable altcoins, if we're going to call them altcoins for the sake of that. And what I'm doing with them is I'm listing them over on this trade view window so I can get data on them. So in here, the symbols of the ones I've got. Now we're going to go to a spreadsheet here temporarily. We'll come back to the spreadsheet. There are, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. No, oh, don't worry about that. 11, 12. There are 12. 12 coins. Format, where are we? Format cells number, just put them to nothing. Okay, so there are 12 and you can stick all those on 12. All right, so there are 12 of these, and we'll get over to this data shortly. So these are the symbols of those 12, and I need to get the data on them, and we'll come out of there. So we're in the trading view window, so you can list the symbol in here in the trading view window, put them on here, such that get rid of all of the crap that's on here that you don't need, just eliminate it. I just got Ethereum on here, and put your list on here that are of these names. Right, so we've got our list of potential names. Right now I'm focusing on this Tron. Easier to view it from over here maybe. Let's back out a little bit, take a look at Tron overall. Now maybe the big picture over here is easier to view it on. Where are you, Tron? Okay, we'll be looking on multiple windows. So, okay, this is the local. Let's go further out just for a little bit. So we want to see where it's. Okay, this is the important window. Now, let's take a look at the big picture. Okay, it went up similarly to the others, came down into no man's land, and we find ourselves down in no man's land. Okay, then we come in a bit more locally because we want to find a potential resistance level. Now its current daily coin change has had it sell down, and the next resistance level we've got is way in here. So we're following this on these other exchanges a little bit more closely. So we're tracking this movement for the moment, and that is both on the Binance account, where you can follow the blocks that are up for sale. Here, this is a very similar window to GDAX. It's maybe a more useful window. It has these interesting moving averages. It's got a 99-day, a 25-day, and a 7-day moving average, which is quite interesting. Now, the significance of TradingView I've found is that I have my TradingView set up with this volume index. Get out of here. This volume index indicator. You go over to indicators and you go down to the bottom here, and you can find, where are we? There we go. Volume index. That's the one you want. Click on volume index, and I use this as a means to decide whether a coin is going into a potential buy situation from a 15-minute window, which I'm using against Ethereum, which works quite well. Let's put my little trading bars out of there. They kind of get in the way. I'll move these little lines out here, seeing what's going on for the moment so I can explain something. Right. Now, we're on TradingView window. I've set up other indicators, a VW, what is this? VWMA 26-day moving average, a TMEA 12-day moving average. Now those are the ones that are on GDAX. The GDAX overlays are 12 and 26. I want them to be the same over here. So those are there, and the basic volume has been put in, so you can see the volume ticks on here. So this is a setup. A setup that enables you to use these lines, which you can draw from clicking on this indicator here. So you can click on this, plump a line out, stick it down, move it around, get rid of it, and use it to draw up technical directives on the way a stock's moving, to give you some idea where it's going locally, up, down, sideways, so to speak. So a potential approach to deciding a buy that I am looking to use is when the buy volume goes above the sell volume, indicated by these blue and reddish kind of lines here. And the green, which is the 12-day moving average, goes above the 26-day moving average. When there's a crossover like that, it is a potential buy-in situation. Like here, not on this position here, but certainly on usable on Ethereum. We can go back, where am I? 15 minutes. I'd have to change over to Ethereum. I'm not going to do that. But anyway, that is why I have these indicators on here, so that you can check when you have a potential buy-in situation. That's what I currently kind of use to decide preemptively, is this going to go up? Is the 7-day moving average going up? Is the buy volume going up? And that would be based on the overall picture of deciding whether regionally this was going to go anywhere. So let's go over to Ethereum, because that's the one that's of significance right now. And here's our local Ethereum. It's just reached the base along with all the others. It's deciding whether this is going to be a true base support level going forwards, or whether it's just going to plonk back down here again. We don't know that as of yet. I've lost my train of thought. Sometimes that happens. Well, I lost that one. It's gone. There's no point bothering with it. So let's come back over to the business of these altcoins. So we've got Tron up here. You can just jump into any one of these. I've got them ordered. You can just grab them, move them around. You can grab them, move them around, set them in the order of the sequence of. So these are new ones. So I'm going to move this new one up. Boop. Move this new one up. Boop. And let's see if they're in the right direction. There's a new one there that is not quite as low as these others. So I want to put them in. That's up top there. Boop. Okay. And let's just see if the others are all right. What? Oh, there's a couple here that are out of place. So let me just move these up so we can get these all ordered. I don't know why these things are different. Oh, I think they've changed since I last put some data into my spreadsheet. These have all changed. So I'm having them ordered in the relative order of increasing numbers of interest, so to speak. So the least to the most, 3, 4. That one is out of place. What is it? 1.4. Stick it up there for the moment. So we have the it's going from the least positive to the most positive. Actually, you should have them the other way around probably. I could reorganize those. But anyway, as far as the negatives are concerned, increasing in negativity. Let's put that one up there. They'll bounce around a lot. And then you can focus on the two that are important. The one that's the bottom. So here's another example, another stock that's trading to the downside. So you're going to look at its big picture first of all. Let's have a look at the whole big picture. So that's 1 day. That's too much. Oh, so there it starts off. And let's move in a little bit, because this is kind of how you'll view this. Let's move out a little bit in this. Whoops. Move out a little bit more. Okay. So this stock is being bought up. It's going through its first buyback and it's going through its second buyback. Now, there's no way you should probably be considering buying this at this point until this has been established as a firm base from which it's going to go up, because if you buy in here and it goes down here, you're in a real world of pain. And you do not want to operate on the business of buy in, it goes down, dump the stock, because that is a very, very bad way to operate, in my opinion. You should understand what you're doing. You should know that it's formed a base from which to buy in. You shouldn't be buying in like all these idiots that are buying in all the time up and down here. So this is just for evaluation. It's amongst all the list of these others, and it's just going to be left there, and we're just going to follow it along and see what happens. So there's another one that's moving down. So we'll go back to one that's the primary one right now, because this is looking to go down. So that sets up all of your stocks. Now, getting them in here. All right, as I understand this, you have to go over to your funds. Yes, in here you come to funds, deposits. Okay. Now, depending whether you're on Ethereum or Bitcoin, I've got all mine slated to Ethereum and Bitcoin. You're going to copy this number. This is the address which you're going to be forwarding your Bitcoins from GDAX into Binance. So you'll copy this number. And then whatever exchange you're on, in the case of GDAX, you will come into a similar position. I'm not sure whether we get into it from here or not. Yes, we do. So you can go to withdrawal. You can go to Ethereum. And this is where you are going to put the address from Binance. You're going to put that address in here. You're going to get a code first of all and go onto your email and put the code in here and follow along with its instructions, and then you're going to put the address here and how many ether in here, and you press go, and then in a short period of time it will then transfer the Ethereum funds from your account, in this case GDAX, over to the Binance, which I will be doing shortly. I've got some money coming into this, into my GDAX account for use. This is just prospectively setting this up. Now, what are all these numbers and what are we doing? What we're going to be doing is evaluating the change of a coin relative to GDAX. Sorry, the change in the value of the coin relative to Ethereum. Now, I have the current relative values of these from my GDAX account. These are the Bitcoin, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum, and Ethereum Lite. Now, regardless of whatever the value of the coin is, which is going to be in our trading view window, regardless of what these have all different values. Some have different values. Some are like 0.005, some are 0.0005. And what about the zeros? Just take the first four numbers. We only want the first four numbers. Whatever these first four numbers are, 6185, that's a totally different value to what this one is. But just take the first four numbers, because they're relative, put them in on your spreadsheet. That's where those go. And there's no particular time here. It happens to be the time that I decide to look at this. It might coincide with, well, there's some downside in your coin of interest. We'll collect the data. So you'll collect the data for whatever you want. I've got all of the data for all of your coins, regardless of what they are. And you can see what I've got, and you can check out. If you like these, or go get your own. Then further on the spreadsheet, we want to determine the value of interest, which is the value of the Ethereum divided by the value of the coin. In this case, it is this coin GTO, and we want to express it as a number that's of a reasonable size. So this function here is the value of Ethereum divided by the value of the coin of interest multiplied by 1,000, and they will all come out relative. So we do that across the board, and we get a reasonable size number. These are relative. Every time there is a change in the price of Ethereum, there is a change in price of your coin of index, the coin of interest. You have to chart both of these. You can't just, if you get it and don't get one, then you kind of screwed. So I take these prices, I put these prices in, do these calculations. Now we want to know what the difference is relative. As Ethereum changes, the number of coins you can buy change. So we want to express that as a percentage change. Now, so I've got another functional equation in here. I just happen to put it in by, instead of taking one from the other, dividing it by the lower one times 100, I just happen to just modify it, what I've got in. I've just got the ratio in of these two coins minus the 1 to get rid of the 1, which comes out as 1.125, and get rid of that and express it as a percentage. So that's minus the 1, the point function multiplied by 100 to get a reasonable number. So now this is the number of importance. This is what we're looking for. This tells us that here TREX, since I started tracking it, relative to Ethereum, has gone down 37%. That means on a relative basis you can buy 37% more of them, and that's what you are looking for, because you want to know at all times what the value of your coin is relative to Ethereum, or relative to anything else for that matter. So Ethereum has been wandering around. It went up, it came down, and we have these relative numbers. Now these numbers themselves don't matter. It's what is it now compared to what it was, because Ethereum has gone up a little bit, and this TREX thing over here has gone down a big bit. Actually, it went down a bit, came back. So that's the number of interest. You can then follow all your coins. See, this one doesn't have a comparative value yet because there's no difference in there. This would just be zeros, really, because there's only one number for it to one evaluation. It says that this is the relative value of these new coins relative to Ethereum without any change either to one or the other. So the next line, this will have a value. So that's that, and that's what there is to it. And then from here on, it's up to your own point of perspective in as how you go about doing whatever you want to do. I'm looking to track Ethereum down to Tron, should we say? I'm looking to track Tron down to its nether regions, come over to the appropriate chart. Let's go a bit more. Where are we? Oh, we're on Ethereum. I'm sorry, we're on the wrong one. This is a very useful page for looking at global comparisons of the stocks. So let's move out a little bit. I'm nearly finished. Oh, so we go. So I'm taking this point here at this point in time as being a reasonable downside base. So I'm tracking this coming down to this downside base here. If it shows to be provided with a support level, and we can look at the backup side of this. This is the important point. It's 25 relative to 50, so we have 100% gain to the coin value. So I'm tracking this down and see if it finds a base here. It won't just go turn around necessarily and go romping up. It's finding a base. That's the difficult bit. That's the difficult bit. Has it reached bottom? So that is the objective, is to define bottom, put some money into it. And my perspective on these is once you've put some money into it, leave it. Don't play with it. If you see a potential upside of 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, leave it. Leave it until it gets there. And then take it out and then go look at another coin. Trading one coin for another coin, as one goes up, one goes down, that's a possibility. You have to do your own studies, you have to do your own research, you have to make your own decisions. So that's pretty much about it. I'm just going to go back into Ethereum for the moment for the last thing to say. So right now on Ethereum, it's a matter of defining whether the global cryptocurrency market has reached a bottom. It probably has, because analytical evaluations say that there is a support level on Bitcoin, which is the one that a lot of this decision making is made from. That the bottom support level on Bitcoin has pretty much been reached. Let's move out here a bit. The bottom level on Bitcoin has pretty much been reached. Let's go further out. Down here somewhere, and it relates to the crossing of the, what was that thing I put out the other day, the death cross on the 50-day 200-day moving average, and the there's another index that they relate to, on which an assessment was made that it is pretty much close to the bottom now, and it may be taking that is going to be the established bottom down here. We'll come back over here. So that's it in its total. So that's a review of you need 2 exchanges. The Binance, which is one of the top, it's probably the top exchange next to Coinbase. So you need 2 exchanges, one to purchase your original coin in, and the Binance from which to put your altcoins in. The trading view window, which one can use for getting your coins values and looking at the regional movement of the coin with these indexes I pointed out earlier and lines to make decisions on. And I just use this for global oversight. So that's it. I hope you find this interesting. Consider it, analyze it, define your own approach, and it's a window into how you might start considering about what you would do if you were to follow this course of action. I hope you found that interesting. Have a nice day.